Now the elephant gambit, that's e4, e5, knight f3, d5, otherwise known as the queen's pawn counter gambit for obvious reasons, is obviously more soundly based than the Latvian. Black doesn't weaken his king side in a gratuitous fashion and opens up the centre immediately in the hope of confusing the white player. Against an unprepared white player, this gambit could come as a shock and give black a good position. But if white is prepared, then I think black's opening, whilst not dubious, definitely gives white the advantage. Now, I picked out a game from the Hoffman Bank tournament played in Munich in 2006, which I think shows a pretty clear way to get the advantage for white. And it's a game between a Grandmaster Konstantin Landa and an average player graded 2054, Dimitrios Vorgiatsis, who's obviously decided he wants to try and surprise the Grandmaster with something unusual. Now, all very well and good, but Grandmasters are really easy to surprise. And white plays an easy move here, e takes d5, after which bishop d6 was played. Maroksi's gambit, a variation on a theme. Black's hoping to set his f-pawn free and get some action going against the white king side with these means. e4 is the original idea. I think that move is dubious after queen e2. I'm not going to go into all the ramifications of the idea now. Suffice it to say that if black plays this way, he's got to be willing to give up one or two pawns for basically no compensation if white knows everything. And therefore, this approach cannot be recommended. Bishop d6 is more enterprising, but with d4, is black really getting anything here? Vorgiatsis plays e4. White puts his knight in on e5, knight e7, preparing to get castled, and now knight c3, easily protecting the pawn on d5. And now with black's pawn on e4 under fire, you have to say it's all looking rather dubious for black. Vorgiatsis plays bishop b4, a second move with this bishop, but at least here he's threatening to get the pawn back on d5. But bishop b5 check throws a spanner in the works. It's because of this move that I regard black's whole opening play as rather dodgy. Without this move, I think if black is allowed to take on d5, then he's got a nice open game for his pieces. But with this move, white puts black in a pretty tight spot. Black doesn't really want to move his king. If he blocks on d7, well, you know, white's just then a pawn up. Black's got to play c6. White's happy to take. B takes c6. And now bishop c4. It's like a two knights opening where black is forced to give up a pawn in that opening, but this is an inferior version because the white pieces can come out very easily in this position, whereas in the two knights they can't. White's immediately threatening the pawn on f7. Okay, black can castle, but then so can white. And you look at this position and you just think, well, black is a pawn down for nothing. What on earth is he doing playing this gambit? And so it proves. I mean, black tries to get his pieces out. He plays bishop f5, but he's labouring a pawn down. It really is as simple as that. There's absolutely nothing fancy about what white does in this game. He plays with the remorseless efficiency of the Grandmaster. He just takes pieces off and opens things up for his better developed army. If black takes on f3, well, queen takes f3, then f7 is coming under tremendous pressure. Black tries to block with the move e3, but rook e1. Queen g5 protecting the pawn. Queen e2. Very, very clear play by white here. White's just threatening to take that pawn on e3. c5 was played, hoping to undermine the entire white structure. a3. C takes d4. Well, I suppose bishop a5 in this position. You know, that also looks dodgy. White can probably just take on c5 here. Something is going to fall in the black camp. Either e3 is going to fall. Maybe he takes on c3, messing up white's pawns. But how is black ever going to get equality in this position? White has far too many threats. He's threatening bishop d5. He's threatening queen takes e3. The whole black position is very, very dubious. So c takes d4 was played. A takes b4. Bishop e6, frustrating white's idea of bishop d5. Bishop takes e6, simple chess. F takes e6. Well, according to my calculations, black's a piece down in this position. Admittedly, both the white knights are attacked. But knight c4, d takes c3, b takes c3. And black just simply resigned this position in disgust. He's a pawn down. He's going to go at least one more pawn down. Probably both e-pawns are going to fall. White just found a very good way against the elephant gambit. So I can summarise this very simply. I think the elephant gambit is also rather dubious. Why should this approach work against White's logical second move, knight f3? But the elephant is definitely better than the Latvian. There might be some opportunity, if we just drop back to the opening, for Black to somehow revive the move e4. And, you know, also after bishop d6 there are some unclear areas. But by and large, White should get the advantage. I hope I showed a clear way in this game. That's how the Grandmaster beats the elephant gambit. He doesn't panic. He plays logical, developing moves. Bishop b5 check was very good. And after that, Black had nothing.